When veteran Carlos Santos tried to humiliate 18-year-old LeBron James in front of a roaring finals crowd, he expected the rookie to break under the crushing weight of the moment. Instead, LeBron's next move would flip the entire arena on its head and etch his name into finals history forever. Before diving into this incredible finals story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and share in the comments your thoughts on what separates champions from everyone else. The NBA Finals arena buzzed with electric anticipation as 20,000 fans filled every seat for Game 7. The crowd was a living, breathing entity. Corporate executives in courtside seats, mixing with lifelong fans who'd saved for years to witness history. Giant screens flickered overhead, broadcasting the scene to millions worldwide, while the hardwood gleamed under television lights that could power a small city. This was it, the culmination of an entire season where legends were born and dreams either lived or died. In the visitors' locker room, 18-year-old LeBron James sat quietly, lacing his shoes with the methodical precision of someone far beyond his years. His mind was crystal clear, each breath measured, heart rate steady despite the magnitude swirling around him. Carlos Santos, Detroit's 31-year-old veteran forward with 9 years of NBA experience, had been watching the young phenom all season with growing resentment that gnawed at his soul like a persistent wound. Santos remembered his own rookie year with painful clarity. Cut twice in training camp, sent to the development league where he slept on his cousin's couch for 3 months, fighting for a roster spot while watching less dedicated players get opportunities he craved. He'd clawed his way through the league, earning every minute through grit, determination, and an almost pathological refusal to quit. Every morning for 9 years, Santos had woken up knowing he wasn't the most talented player on any court. His jump shot wasn't the prettiest, his speed wasn't elite, and his vertical leap wouldn't make highlight reels. But he'd outlasted hundreds of more gifted athletes through pure stubbornness and an intimate understanding of what it meant to sacrifice everything for a dream. He'd played through broken fingers that never healed properly, torn muscles that ached on cold nights, and pride that had been shattered and rebuilt more times than he could count. The scars on his body told the story of his journey. A jagged line across his left knee from surgery after tearing his ACL in his 3rd season. Calloused hands from countless hours gripping basketballs until his palms bled, and shoulders that popped and cracked from diving for loose balls that meant nothing to stat sheets but everything to winning games. To Santos, LeBron represented everything wrong with modern basketball. A teenager who'd been handed everything, crowned before he'd earned anything, worshipped by media who'd never experienced the grinding reality of NBA warfare. The kid had never known hunger, never felt the desperation of fighting for survival in a league that chewed up dreams and spit them out without mercy. Tonight, Santos had decided, this golden child would learn what finals pressure actually felt like when someone stripped away his armor of confidence and media protection. As both teams took the court for pre-game warm-ups, the arena's energy was palpable, like electricity crackling before a storm. The crowd's roar was deafening, a wall of sound that seemed to push against the players' bodies. Camera flashes created a constellation of lights from every angle, while the weight of championship dreams pressed down on every soul in the building. LeBron emerged from the tunnel with remarkable composure, his eyes scanning the crowd with quiet appreciation rather than intimidation. Inside his mind, he could hear his mother's voice. "Baby, you belong anywhere your talent and character can take you." He moved through his warm-up routine with fluid grace, each shot falling with crisp precision that drew appreciative murmurs from even opposing fans. The crowd noticed immediately, beginning to buzz with excitement about the young star who'd captured the nation's imagination. Signs reading, "Chosen One" and "LeBron's legacy starts here" dotted the arena like prophecies waiting to be fulfilled. Santos watched from across the court, his jaw clenched with frustration that made his temples throb. Even in warm-ups, LeBron commanded attention effortlessly. Fans pointed with trembling excitement. Cameras followed his every movement like he was basketball royalty, and his teammates gravitated toward his natural charisma like moths to flame. It was everything Santos had worked years to achieve, handed to someone who'd barely been in the league 6 months. As LeBron finished his shooting routine and began walking toward the sideline, Santos felt something dark and primal rise within him. This was his moment. His chance to plant doubt in this kid's mind right before the biggest game of his young life. He strode purposefully across the court, his expression dark with intention, shoulders squared like a predator stalking prey. Teammates noticed the determination in his step, the way his hands had formed into fists, but none anticipated the psychological warfare about to unfold. "Hey, rookie!" Santos called out, his voice cutting through the arena noise with deliberate volume and unmistakable menace. The harshness in his tone made nearby players turn their heads, conversations stopping mid-sentence. LeBron stopped and faced the veteran, his expression calm and curious rather than defensive, which only fueled Santos's rage further. Santos stepped closer, ensuring his words would carry to the surrounding crowd and media, his voice growing louder with each syllable. "You think you belong here?" His voice dripped with venom and condescension. "This is the finals, kid. This isn't some high school gymnasium where mommy and daddy cheer from the bleachers." The nearby crowd began to quiet, sensing drama unfolding like a car accident they couldn't look away from. Phones appeared instantly as fans started recording what they sensed might become a viral moment. Security guards shifted nervously, unsure whether to intervene. LeBron remained still as a statue, his dark eyes fixed on Santos with unwavering attention and surprising calm. "I've been in this league for 9 years, Santos continued, his voice rising with each word, spittle flying as emotion took control. "I've earned every single minute I've played through blood, sweat, and tears you can't imagine. You've been handed everything on a silver platter because you're tall and fast, but talent means nothing if you don't have the heart for moments like this." The circle of onlookers grew larger as more players, coaches, and media members were drawn to the confrontation like metal to a magnet. This wasn't typical pre-game banter. This was something more personal, more vicious, more dangerous. Santos was trying to plant seeds of doubt in a rookie's mind right before the biggest game of his young life. "Look around," Santos gestured wildly to the massive crowd and bright lights, his arm sweeping the arena like he owned it. 20,000 people screaming. National television, championship on the line. This is where boys get separated from men. And right now, looking at you, all I see is a scared little boy who's about to learn what real pressure feels like. The crowd had fallen noticeably quieter, creating an amphitheater effect where Santos's words echoed through the arena like judgments from on high. Some fans booed his disrespect, their voices cutting through the tension, while others watched with morbid fascination. This was psychological warfare being conducted in full view of the basketball world. LeBron absorbed every word without flinching, his breathing steady and controlled, his mind processing not just Santos's words but his pain. He could see it now, the desperation behind the anger, the fear behind the aggression. This wasn't really about him. This was about a man fighting for relevance in a world that had moved on. When Santos finally finished his verbal assault, the arena held its collective breath, creating a silence so profound that even the air conditioning seemed loud. Cameras zoomed in, photographers crouched low, and 20,000 people waited to see how the teenager would respond to this unprecedented attack on the sport's biggest stage. What happened next would be replayed on highlight reels for decades. LeBron stepped forward, closing the distance between himself and Santos until they were face to face, close enough to see the pain and fear in each other's eyes. His voice, when he finally spoke, carried across the arena with startling clarity and confidence that seemed to come from somewhere ancient and wise. "Carlos," LeBron said, using Santos's first name with respect that surprised everyone listening, his tone warm despite the circumstances. "You're absolutely right about one thing. This is where boys get separated from men. But you're wrong about what that means." LeBron's voice grew stronger, more resonant, reaching every corner of the now silent arena like a sermon from a young prophet. Being a man isn't about trying to tear someone else down to make yourself feel bigger. Being a man is about lifting others up, even when they might outshine you, especially then. The crowd began to lean forward, captivated by the unexpected wisdom flowing from someone who could barely legally vote. Santos stood frozen, unprepared for this response, feeling his carefully planned attack crumbling around him. "You said I was handed everything on a silver platter," LeBron continued, his voice carrying pain that resonated with every person who'd ever struggled. "But you don't know my story. You don't know about sleeping on couches because we got evicted, about my mom working 3 jobs just to keep food on the table, about going to bed hungry because we couldn't afford groceries. You don't know about the 1,000 hours I spent in empty gyms at 5 a.m., not because someone made me, but because basketball was my way out of a life where nothing was guaranteed except struggle." The arena had fallen completely silent except for LeBron's voice, which seemed to fill every empty space with its conviction and truth. Some fans were wiping their eyes, moved by the raw honesty. "But here's what I want you to know, Carlos. I don't want to take anything away from you. I want to earn my place here, just like you did. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I can inspire other kids who come from where I come from to believe that they belong here too, that their dreams matter just as much as anyone else's." Santos felt something breaking inside him, years of bitterness and resentment cracking like ice in spring. This wasn't the defensive, angry response he'd expected. This was something else entirely, something that made him feel small and petty rather than powerful. LeBron took another step closer, and his final words would echo through finals history with the power of thunder. "You're right that this is where legends are made. So let's both go out there and show these fans what legends look like, not by tearing each other down, but by playing the game we both love with everything we've got, with every ounce of heart and soul we possess." The arena erupted like a volcano. The standing ovation began with a few scattered fans and quickly spread like wildfire through every section, tier by tier, until 20,000 people were on their feet applauding. Players from both teams stood applauding, their competitive instincts momentarily suspended by recognition of something extraordinary and transcendent. Santos stood in the center of it all, feeling the weight of a transformation he hadn't seen coming, tears streaming down his face as 9 years of anger and resentment melted away in the face of unexpected grace. Game 7 became an instant classic that would be studied for generations. Santos played the game of his life, diving for every loose ball with renewed purpose, hitting clutch shots when his team needed them most, playing with a joy he'd forgotten he possessed. LeBron matched him play for play, displaying a maturity and composure that belied his age, making plays that defied belief. The final quarter was a masterpiece of basketball, each possession crucial, every shot contested, the lead changing hands 7 times in the final 5 minutes. With 12 seconds left and Cleveland down by 1 point, LeBron received the inbound pass, Santos defending him. Instead of taking the hero shot, LeBron made the perfect pass that led to the championship-clinching basket. As confetti fell like golden snow and celebration erupted around them, LeBron sought out Santos for an embrace that cameras captured and fans remembered. 2 warriors who'd found respect in battle. "That speech you gave," Santos said during the celebration, his voice thick with emotion, "that changed something fundamental in me. You didn't just beat me tonight, you made me better than I ever thought I could be." Years later, when Santos told this story, He would say, "That night, LeBron taught me that true strength isn't about intimidating others, it's about inspiring them. He showed me that greatness isn't diminished by lifting others up. If anything, it's magnified beyond measure." LeBron's response became known as the speech in finals lore, studied by sports psychologists and leadership experts as a masterclass in grace under pressure. It proved that champions aren't just defined by what they achieve, but by how they handle the moments when others try to tear them down. That night, an 18-year-old didn't just win his first championship, he showed the world what it truly means to be a champion in every sense of the word. If you enjoyed this incredible finals story, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want more content about these legendary basketball moments, don't forget to subscribe. Share in the comments what you think separates true champions from everyone else.